Welcome back to Steele and Vance. I got a rhetorical question to start off here, Linda.
Okay.
Have you ever had an anonymous troll come at you that you figured might be a burner account?
Like every day, but I hate internet trolls. I mean, we all do, right? There are people who are ignorant. Come on, you can't actually own up to your own thoughts and opinions. You got to go after people and be ignorant. So we saw this week this horrific story about a school trustee in BC who was outed as a troll. And this was reported by the
New West Anchor.
Yeah.
I want to give credit to Ria Renouf at the New West Anchor broke this story, but here we have a headline from the Vancouver Sun. This is the New Westminster school trustee who now faces calls to resign after she admitted to running this fake account for years. 7 years?
So she was pretending to be a guy on Twitter, Alan Witherstone. And interestingly enough, she was going after parents who she disagreed with and poking people and being disrespectful and mean-spirited and what have you. And one of the parents actually outed her, sort of put two and two together.
Right.
So Sarah started watching this account. And they thought it was strange that they would start getting harassed right after school board meetings.
She and her husband both targeted by
this woman
account.
should be a police officer because there was a tweet in particular that Alan Witherstone, this burner account, had posted that sort of GPS located where this tweet came from.
Where it originated.
Guess what? It was DBD, the school trustee's house. She admitted to being the troll, said she was having some mental health issues, wanted to step aside. A lot of people are saying, not stepping aside, you should quit. And so far, that's not what's happening.
This is a problem in the school trustee scenario, is there's no activation to actually remove somebody who clearly will never be able to recover their credibility within this role. But we want to talk more about
trolls in particular, because
trolls.
this is a problem in general for all of us, regardless of whether you're a public figure or an elected official. So Jesse Miller is a social media educator with Mediated Reality, and he joins us now. Jesse, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you both for having me. As always, it's great to be here.
What did you think when you were following the stories about a BC school trustee being outed as a troll?
Okay, so for the past 20 years, we've heard a number of stories about elected officials across Canada who've used these troll accounts to either get their vantage point or their opinion seen by more people or to kind of stir up the pot. We've seen it in municipal elections. We've seen it in provincial and federal elections. But interestingly enough, with the school trustee conversation, this is one of the first instances where we've seen an account that's gone this distance of 7 years. And that shows a lot of calculated approach to trying to poke at people based on having this elected role, but then trying to get individuals to either react or to engage or to just kind of take a shot at somebody you deem to be a nemesis. So one of the things I love about this is that we can actually now prove some accountability in that space, so where you can see how maybe votes got skewed or where parents' ire came into conversation at these meetings because of some of these social media vitriol pieces. But this needs to have accountability beyond the idea of the person taking mental health leave. It has to have an accountability moving forward as well, where elected officials, if they are deemed to be doing this, may actually have to face some kind of consequence from our legal system.
Wouldn't that be refreshing?
Yeah, criminal charges.
Swift, meaningful consequences for targeted harassment on social media. Here, we're kind of catching the tail of the comet as we see it happening so prevalently across the world, really. And obviously there are reasons for in some countries, to be able to be anonymous on social media, to be anonymous online. Are we ever going to get to a place where you must be verified to some degree in order to have an account or be outed this way? Legally?
To be fair, verification itself has changed drastically since Twitter has now become this place where you can buy verification. Right. I've always been kind of wired to approach the conversation on verification of what do you want to do online? And if you are a person who wants to conduct yourself with casting opinion, having conversations in your community, what's the big deal about being who you are? And what we have here is obviously some people who will favor being anonymous because they don't want to be held accountable for their words, but there are obviously the whistleblower pieces and the safety pieces. So about 10 years ago, I started platforming the conversation of if we could verify people based on a credit card or based on putting in some kind of information with oversight in the sense of government playing a role with these social media companies, that would make it easier for kids to be online, it would make it safer for families to kind of navigate how their kids go online as well. well. But the fear there is that we also displace people who traditionally might not have a safe space to share information.
Right.
So what I'm hoping here is that we start to see more social media companies not favor the idea of making money off of verification, which we see Twitter doing right now, but also just highlighting that if you are a person who is an elected official, you could have an elected account. But if that company sees that you yourself have chosen to sign up for numerous accounts, maybe that company also has to communicate to the general public and say, we're concerned about burner accounts from this person, and here's where democracy itself may have a negative.
Let me ask you this then. In the meantime, what's your advice if you're being harassed by what you believe to be a troll online? That whole idea of don't feed the trolls, what do you tell people?
Well, what I love about this family who kind of started breaking down the parts is that they did their due diligence to establish how an individual was kind of coming at them. So the more paperwork you do, the more that you date and contrast some of the information that comes your way. But they did their due diligence. I mean, they were able to track based on GPS. They started putting the puzzle pieces together, but they appear to have the internet wherewithal to know how to navigate that. Not every person does. So most people now kind of lean more towards heading to the police. And the police don't necessarily have all of the ground tools to really kind of identify people who hide behind these accounts. And not every incident requires police attention. So report to the social media companies, address the issues as they come up. But if you feel they're a personal attack and they're ongoing and they do meet a harassing nature, that's where you don't hesitate, reach out to a non-emergency contact in your community and talk to the police as best you can.
And a specialist in social media and social media security, like Mediated Reality, frankly, is a resource for some, depending on the level of this. I mean, you can help out to some degree, and people like you.
Yeah, there are obviously people who will help individuals when it comes to risks of feeling safe and secure. A number of my clients are obviously corporations and executives who are concerned about their brands or they're concerned about the company itself. But the reality of it is everyday individuals who feel targeted by somebody shouldn't have to actually shell money out of their pocket to get somebody who has the intelligence, the wherewithal, and the ability to be able to help them eventually go to police and say, here's who I think I'm dealing with.
Right.
And so when we consider the idea that individuals sometimes have to opt out of pocket, there should be better systems in place in our everyday society who choose to use social media to then say, I'm not feeling safe, I'm looking for some resources. We've tried to cut these conversations about police playing the role. We actually probably need more community liaisons, individuals who are maybe in community policing centers who don't necessarily wear a badge, but can liaise with police and say, this doesn't meet the threshold for harassment, but this individual probably does need to be identified. And can we identify who this person is and what their intent is?
Right. Amen. Jesse Miller, thank you so much. Really appreciate your insight as always.
Thank you both. Congratulations on the final show this year.
Thank you. We'll see you next season.
Yeah.
Put us in your calendar. Thank you, Jesse.
Jesse Miller from Mediated Reality. I say block, block, blockity, block, 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 mute, block, mute, block. That's what
I love it when they screen cap that you block them and then put it out there. And I'm like,
care.
oh, great. So I know I should block you too.
I blocked you.
Exactly.
Bye-bye, troll.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, you know what? Still ahead, a global vaccine hero
who's been on this show
is stalked and harassed by a fan of the Joe Rogan show. What the hell is wrong with people is coming up next.
It is, but you know who are the good people? The good people.
Our viewers.
Yes, here's Julie watching us. I like your Birkenstocks, Julie.
Oh,
nice
and
one.
Let's also see Aaron. Hi, Aaron. That's her husband, I believe, serenading us with his guitar.
What a great couple. Aaron's a super fan. Alexandra, thank you for
Some
this.
more sandals.
Love it.
Karen, thank you so much, Karen. Karen's a fan of Strongbow, as are we.
As are we.
Yeah.
And this last one, I think you got to do this one.
This is Chef Brian. I believe you know him quite well.
He took this one in our living room. Aww. He said, it's my favorite show. I can be part of the viewing party.
Hi, Brian.
Yes. Hi, Chef Brian. And if you want to be a part of this next season, send us your photos. We will take them, collect them, and launch with them the first Thursday after Labor Day when we're back.